Good morning. Good morning. That was awesome, Andy. Thank you so much. Playing my theme song. That was awesome. Good morning and welcome to the Redondo Center for Spiritual Living, where we are transforming lives, building dreams, and revealing love. Where all we ask is that you stay completely open to changing your life by changing your mind. Welcome home. So glad that you're here this morning. My name is Valerie Reeves, also known as the Courageous Lion. Today we have a wonderful, fun-filled day for you. And let's begin with our congregational song. We have Michael Paul Smith, who's going to lead us in the congregational song. It is in your program.
There we are. Good morning, everyone. Please stand.
Please stand.
Are so able.
Rise for the opening song.
And we're going to sing this Stayed on Spirit. It's in your bulletin. And so the sopranos are over here, the bariturners. No, just everybody.
They're all mixed
all
up.
Mixed
They're
in.
all, yeah.
So we go. Let's try it, Andy. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. I woke up this morning with my mind, and it was stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Walking and talking, I'm walking and talking with my mind stayed on spirit. I'm walking
and talking with my mind. My mind was stayed on spirit.
Whoa, walking and talking with my mind, and it was stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Dancing and singing, I'm dancing and singing with my mind stayed on spirit. I'm dancing and singing with my mind stayed on spirit. I'm dancing and singing with my mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. There ain't no harm to keep your mind. There ain't no harm to keep your mind stayed on spirit. There ain't no harm to keep your mind. Woo! Stayed on spirit. There ain't no harm to keep your mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. I woke up this morning. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Yeah, I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Oh, yes, I woke up this morning with my mind, and it was stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. We're going to tag. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Oh, yeah. Stayed on spirit.
Hello. Pikachu. Hello. All right, good morning. It's a great day, yes? All right, let's take all of this beautiful, lovely energy in the room and beyond and go inside our heart of hearts. We'll just center in a nice opening prayer as we just go inside knowing that there is one mind, one power, one infinite intelligence, knowing that it flows right where we are. It is the I am that we are beautifully, brilliantly. That we just open up our hearts, our minds, our courage to stepping into the divinity of our greatest dream. That we allow everything else to just float away as we bring ourselves fully, consciously into this space. As I speak my word and claim that this is the best day ever, that we hear our inner spirit calling. We listen, we accept, and we love unconditionally, knowing that there's always a day, a time, a moment to decide something new, to let go of the past, to be in the present, to look forward and dream for the future. As we go into that great, beautiful space over the rainbow, inside our heart, our highest spirit, and in great, great gratitude, staying in that gratitude space, I just release my word, knowing that all is well, knowing that as I release my word, it is never returned void. As we anchor this together by saying, and so it is. So it is.
Thank you so much, Reverend Valerie. Good morning, my CSL family here in the sanctuary and on YouTube. Today, you probably know this, but our speaker is the Cowardly Lion, Reverend Valerie Reeves. Does anyone know how vampires get around on Halloween? They take blood vessels.
I don't know.
All right, and for more of that, here's what's happening today. We're having a Halloween Fun Fest at 12:15 in Richelieu Hall, which is next door. There's a costume contest for adults and children, a tarot card reading, tea leaf reading, cake walk, candy corn bingo, and other games and food. Moving into this week, on Tuesday, November 1st, Reverend Kathy's book reading meets in person in the foyer, and the book is The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. Check your program for details. Also on Tuesday, you guys, a yoga class meets in Richelieu Hall at 11. Bring your mat. The cost is $10. On Wednesday the 2nd, there's yet another book reading, Learn to Live by Irvin Seal. This reading is via Zoom, 9:45 a.m. Please email office@redondocsl.org for a Zoom link. Continuing on Wednesday, our midweek spiritual inspirational services at 11. Just like today, this Wednesday service is right here in the sanctuary, and it's also streaming on YouTube. This week's service is hosted by Reverend Mary Morgan. Spiritual Discussion Group is meeting this Thursday, November 3rd. Please join us. It's from 2 to 3:30 p.m. in the foyer, and it's hosted by Mark and Monica Ruth. Saturday, November 5th, there's a CSL accredited class, Revealing Wholeness. This is taught by Reverend Mary Morgan, and it uses the book Mind Over Medicine. The class is from 10 to 12:30, and there's a flyer in the foyer about that. Looking ahead, also next Sunday is Remembrance Sunday. And if you'd like to include your loved one in the service, you can drop your photo. There's a box in the foyer. You can also email the photo of your loved one to office@redondocsl.org. See the program, please, for more information about that. Monica Ruth and Dana Lemieux are hosting balance classes in person in November. These balance classes will be held Mondays the 7th and the 14th at 4:30 p.m. The first class is for assessment, and the second is for follow-up. Please see the flyer in the foyer and also to sign up. We take this moment to remind you there are several ways that you can donate to our center. We really appreciate your presence here with us today, and we thank you for your messages and your financial donations to our center. You can also sign up for Amazon Smile, naming the center as a beneficiary. This is easy to do. Thanks for considering. Dial a prayer during the week is 310-540-5242. New prayers are posted on Wednesdays. We're fortunate today to welcome back our friend and an accomplished baritone. who's performed in theater and also symphony orchestras, along with artists like Placido Domingo and Lou Rawls. I read the article in the San Diego Tribune. Please welcome back Michael Paul Smith.
Well, that just makes me old, that's all. That's all that is. Lou Rawls, man, that was an experience. You know, he had the telethon, and back in the day when he was raising money for black colleges and stuff, so that was fun. Anyway, it doesn't matter. What's important is right here, right now, right here, right now. This is it. This is it. This is the moment. This is it right now. Doesn't matter what happened back there. It's right here, right now. Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. Oh yeah, and I'm feeling good. I said fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on the tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. Yeah, and I'm feeling good. Are you feeling good this morning? Yeah. Dragonflies out in the sun, you know what I mean. Butterflies out having fun, you know what I mean. To sleep in peace when day is done, yes, that's what I mean. And this whole world is a new world, and the bold world for me. Woo! I said, stars, when you shine, you know how I feel. Said, of the pine, you know how I feel. Oh, freedom, oh, freedom, 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 freedom is mine. Yes, I know how I feel. Old Man River, it's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling, yes, I'm feeling, are you feeling so good? And I'm feeling good. And I'm feeling so
Never ends. Thank you very much, and Andy as well. Good to have you back this Sunday. Thanks, Katie, for all those announcements. We got a lot happening. It's pretty exciting, but just one correction. Come balance with us on the 7th and 14th, but we're going to do it at 10 to 11 instead of 4:30. I'll be making dinner at that point in time, so. Good morning. During the month of October, we've been looking at finances, infinite abundance, being in the creative flow, and playing with money. Excuse me. Today, Reverend Valerie's talk is The Magic Within. How do we see ourselves participating in the creative flow of money in our lives? Is that flow only through some known and expected channels? Only through our job or our paycheck, perhaps? Ernest Holmes, the founder of Science and Mind, says in the textbook, we must be specific in prayer while at the same time never outlining how it shall be done. When we're outlining, it's like we're handcuffing and restricting God. One recent Monday morning, I went out to water all the potted plants and shrubs on our patio. Now, during this decline, you might even have one. So it has several options of how you want the flow of the water to come out of the nozzle. And that morning, after I opened the faucet, and what happened is I prefer shower, and what happened was this large stream of water was shooting out instead of flowing to the plant, and it was being wasted all over the patio. So it wasn't delivering the water the way I wanted it to deliver. And what I did in a quick attempt, I'm changing, I'm going from shower to stream to flat to flood, but it wasn't working. This stream of water was being wasted. So it just wasn't functioning properly. Now, I recognized that there was not a shortage of water coming from the faucet, coming through the hose, but the delivery and the distribution of the water by means of that faulty nozzle was lousy, to say the least. So I needed to open a new form of flow, a properly functioning channel in order to deliver the flow of water to my thirsty plants. Eric Butterworth says in his book, In the Flow of Life, the secret of healing any kind of discord is to correct the conditions that are impeding the natural flow of life. So I went to Home Depot and bought a new nozzle. Are there times in our lives when we find ourselves in a place where we're not receiving all the abundance, all the good that we need and that we want? Are we insisting that this channel has to work? Much like I was initially with the clogged nozzle, are we outlining and restricting the flow of money to only our job or only our paycheck, to our known and expected channels? A raise or a promotion at work is a great thing, but are there other unexpected ways that financial gain can flow to us and delight us? Just as the nozzle has a variety of settings, what are some other settings by which money might flow to us? Well, here's some that I thought of. Gifts, repayment of a loan, an inheritance, a signing bonus, a book deal, jackpot winnings, the lottery ticket. You can see my husband, he'll let you know what the current amount is. Investment dividends, finding a pirate's hidden treasure, perhaps being honest and turning that hidden treasure in and getting a reward. Can you think of some other possibilities? When we open ourselves to the flow of the divine current, we open our minds to all channels of this flow occurring. both expected and unexpected. Please affirm with me. My good rushes to me. Enough and to spare. To give and to share.
Give and to share.
And so it is.
It's our time to sing once again. And if we could all stand, and we look at this in the bulletin as our thoughts, our prayers. And we'll do that together as a united front of choir here in Redondo Beach. Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Be careful what you're saying. Seek the higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer. Let's sing again. You guys sound so lovely. Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Take charge of what you're saying. Seek the higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. I was thinking of brain, a heart, and courage. Yes. Well, good morning, and it's good to see you all. I have to tell you, when I chose the talk title today, The Magic Within, I have a Glinda costume, and I thought, yeah, I'm going to wear my Glinda costume. And then I got to my costume, and somebody gained a little weight during COVID. But it's so funny because when I first was talking, right, the Wicked Witch, when I was talking to my sister, who is now in Oklahoma, I was talking about talking before the day before Halloween, so I have to wear a costume. She's like, oh, do the lion. Somebody needs to hear about courage. You need to be courageous. I'm like, no, I really want to do Glinda. But obviously, somebody, maybe me, maybe all of us, of course, because there's only one, needs to hear about courage. So I have to tell you, I used to be very, very shy. Hard to imagine, I know. But growing up in Nebraska, I was very shy. I would listen to Sesame Street. One of these things does not belong here. One of these things is not the same. Some of you may remember that song. And I used to thought, I don't belong here. I'm not the same as everyone else. I'm different. I want to think that that was like Dorothy was thinking the same thing in The Wizard of Oz. Well, I had to really push myself out of my comfort zone in order to do the things that I do today, because I would see people doing wonderful, brilliant things, and the only way to get there is one step at a time. Now, I understand Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz because I grew up in Nebraska, and there's not a lot to do. You know, we're just out there feeding the chickens. That's what we're doing, and watching the grass grow, and not a lot to do. But I loved the movie The Wizard of Oz because I always felt like I was Dorothy, and she had the knowledge inside her to know that there is something bigger calling for her. She had the heart to listen to that inner knower, to listen to that inner longing that's going on. And she had the brain to dream and to think about it, and the courage to step out of it step out of where she was and move forward somewhere over the rainbow. I love the metaphysical interpretation of The Wizard of Oz because it's all within all of us. The magic is within us. It's right there. We have it all the time. We just forget. So then we've got Glinda, the good witch, telling us all these good things. Yeah, you're good. You're all right. You can do this. And then we've got, I want to say the bad witch inside of us that's saying, no, I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog too. Hold back. Stay back. Don't live your dreams. So Glinda listens to the good witch and says, follow the yellow brick road. Follow your heart. Follow what's inside of you. And then, of course, along the way, she meets the scarecrow, which is actually my favorite line ever in any movie when she asks the scarecrow, what would you do with a brain if you had one? Now, not that I've ever asked anybody that question, but I might have thought it, and maybe that's the wicked witch in me. We all have a brain. And then meeting the Tin Man, needing a heart. So tuning into our heart, making sure that we're listening to what our heart's desire is and not putting those dreams aside. And then the lion, being able to be courageous enough to live our dreams, to not care what anybody else thinks about us. Trust me, it's not easy to jump up here with a cowardly lion costume on. Although I think I've done it enough years that it's like, all right, I'll step into my power because I can't give up the opportunity to wear a costume if it's appropriate. And it's appropriate, yes? Yes. So stepping into our greatness, moving back or being in Nebraska, I was very much a victim. And I don't know if any of you have ever grown up with that victim mentality, that I'm a victim of my circumstances. I became such a people pleaser that I say even when I got married, I didn't want to hurt his feelings. I didn't know how to say no, so I said yes. And then you get on this, this road that is leading to a space that this is not where I want to be. And 2 businesses and 4 kids later, I had to step into my courage and say, this is not where I want to be. This is not what I want to do. This is not living my authentic self. So I had to have the courage to step out of that relationship and move to a better space for myself and for my children. And I have 4 amazing children. They were raised in this teaching. And let me tell you the brilliance of raising kids in this teaching. They will be the first to come up and say, so what's in your consciousness? Why are you manifesting this? It's like, I don't know. We manifest things in our lives based on our thoughts. It's that every thought, because our thoughts are things. And every thought that we've had, I always say it's like a balancing thing. It's like a pot of soup, you know? The more stuff you put in there, the more things that our conscious brain that says, I want this, has to go through. We may have blocks and barriers and old patterns in thinking that we were thinking for many years. And our spirit, our inner knower, gets us there the easiest, softest, gentlest way it can. And like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, as she's going on down the road, she falls asleep in the poppies, those beautiful poppies. Some of us have fallen asleep to our dream. We've fallen asleep to just same day, different thought, same day, different thought, or same thought, different day. Let me say it that way, instead of reminding ourselves that my thoughts are creating something, just like this beautiful song says, our thoughts are prayers. Every thought that we have is building us this way or that way, and we move in the direction of our most dominant thought. If my dominant thought is that I am a victim of all of my circumstances, I'm going to keep getting more of that. If my dominant thought is that I'm courageous and I can do this, and I'm going to stay focused on exactly what I'm wanting, then I'm going to get that. It's like keeping focused on it. A friend of mine was telling me a story about how he was in a race, and they had a table filled with bagels, and it said free bagels. And he grabbed his buddy and he said, hey, look, there's free bagels. Let's go on over here. And his friend said, no, look at the line. The line is just too long. And he's like, but they're free bagels. So he decided to just kind of scurry up to the side, and he grabbed a couple bagels and got what he wanted. Now, he didn't harm anyone. He didn't take anything away from anyone because there was lots of free bagels. But he was focused on the free bagels while his friend was focused on the long line. So sometimes we might be focused on the long line and all the obstacles instead of focused on what it is that we're wanting. Just like Dorothy, once she got to the land of Oz, she wanted to go back home. It's like, I miss my family now. I want to go back home. And the magic was inside of her all of the time. And as she's going on down the road, the bad witch, sends the monkey, the flying monkeys. Do you remember those flying monkeys? If you haven't watched The Wizard of Oz in a while, you might want to go revisit it. There's so much great metaphysics in there beyond our own thinking. There's brilliance in this book and in this movie. So the flying monkeys represent our monkey mind chatter, because the minute I focus here, then everything starts taking me in a different direction. And we have to work everything inside of us to move forward, to have that courage, to have that heart, to keep that vision, to keep that dream alive. Now, Emerson says this, and Emerson was, Ernest Holmes, the founder of this philosophy. Ernest Holmes studied so many different teachers, from Jesus to Buddha to Emerson to Troward to all of the different great minds of the ages. But Emerson says this: our greatest glory is not in never failing, but in raising up every time we fall. He goes on to say, most of the shadows of this life are caused by standing in one's own sunshine. Sometimes we're standing in our own sunshine. Want to make sure that we are taking that time to really step within ourselves and follow our heart, regardless of what anyone else says. And in metaphysics, in this philosophy, because we are responsible, we are creating our own reality. Sometimes, like my children would point out, so what's in your consciousness? What have you been thinking about? And that's where I had to train them. You don't know everything I've been through, except for what I've told you. The rest of the world doesn't know everything you've been through. So based on everything that we have, we are working to get to our highest and best, always, until the monkey mind chatter takes us over here. So making sure that we're staying focused on what it is that we're wanting and not what we don't want, but focus on what we do want. You want the free bagel? Stay focused on that. Keep focused on it. Let Spirit guide you down that yellow brick road. When that wicked witch tries to tell you the bad things about you, remember that you have been through so much, and we're here. Everything that we've been through in life has brought us to this point right here, right now. So celebrating that. And if the people out there in the world, or you hear the whispers, judging anything that you're going through, put it aside. I remember Terry Cole Whitaker writing the book, What You Think of Me Is None of My Business. The line alone says it enough, right? So I've been to several seminars that Terry Cole Whitaker has done, and she talked about how she was speaking to an audience, and there was somebody in the audience just scowling at her, just looking at her. And so she's having that monkey mind chatter in there. It's like, oh my God, I'm not doing a good job, or whatever it was that she started to think. And then she thought, you know what you think of me is not my business, unless I make it my business. I don't want to make anybody else's thoughts about me my business, because they don't know the depths of who we are, who I am. The most important thing is know yourself and know every part of yourself and have that intimate relationship with yourself. Intimacy, into me, see. And sometimes we maybe don't want to see the whole part of ourselves. I remember coming to a decision within myself, because I used to not ask questions at school. If they'd ask me to read out loud, I'd cry. And I thought, there's some things I'm not understanding, even as an adult. So it's okay to raise my hand and say, I don't understand. Because probably if I don't understand, there's probably 9 or 10 other people that don't understand, or I don't understand the meaning of that word or how you're using that. And when I decided to be vulnerable and start just being authentically me. I may not be the smartest one. That's okay. I have courage. I'm going to raise my hand. So making sure that we're taking that courage to move forward, to raise our hand, to ask questions, but to have that intimate relationship with ourselves. Now, I have to tell you, during COVID, I did a lot of binge watching. Anybody else? Binge watching TV? RuPaul Drag Race was probably on the top of my list. I don't know if anybody else has watched that, but it's pretty brilliant because people that have gone through tough things in life and come through to notice the brilliance in themselves. And RuPaul would always say at the end of every show, if you can't love yourself, how in the heck are you going to love anyone else? If I can't love myself fully, completely, unconditionally, it's going to be a challenge to love anyone else. So I want to make sure that I have that predominant relationship with myself and make sure that I feel good about that. Reverend Brian Anderson in Vista, California, was one of my first teachers, and he used to say, we grow most when we're in a relationship. So I'd jump into a relationship, and it's like, too much growth. Time to move apart. You do it once in a while. It's like, okay, I don't need to grow that much today. Getting to that space of really loving ourselves and knowing ourselves and taking time every day. And I'm going to be honest, I'm guilty of this because I haven't been doing it as much as I'm not going to should on myself because, we do that a lot. Should. I did say should. We should on ourselves sometimes. However, my intention is to live with love, with joy, and with belonging. And in order to do that, it is necessary to take that time every day to visualize. I always say take that time to visualize, and then you can step right into the picture. Visualize, verbalize, feelingly believe it. So I'm going to give a charge to myself and any of you that want to join me. But starting today, taking 30 minutes every single day away from everything to just dream. Be like Dorothy out there singing somewhere over the rainbow. But she got the clear mental picture of what it was that she was wanting. She was wanting to honor her heart, her brain, her courage. She was wanting to see the bigger side of life. Take that 30 minutes every day, free from any distraction, and just really visualize what is it that you're wanting? What is it that you desire? What does a full, rich life look like? And then put yourself in that picture. I was really lucky this last year. My 4 children decided to surprise me on my birthday, and they gave me a Caribbean cruise with Abraham Hicks, and so I spent 10 days on this wonderful cruise. So every time I say, what is it that you're wanting? I'm thinking of Abraham, Esther Hicks, as she would say it that way. What is it that you are wanting? And getting clear within yourself, because sometimes we just get in life, and we just keep doing it, and just keep doing it, and just keep doing it, instead of doing the things that we want to, and creating the life that we want. And I see some of you just having a fabulous life, and it's like they are doing the work. And sometimes I get a little lazy. It's like, I just got too busy. I shouldn't call it lazy. Let's call it busy. I just got too busy, and we can make up these excuses all day long. However, taking that time to really take our time to be within ourselves. And there's so much greatness out here in the world. There are messages coming from all over. And I was talking to my son the other night about courage, and he said, it's like that one song, you can be amazing, from Sarah Bareilles from Brave. You can be amazing. You can turn a phrase into a weapon or a drug. You can be the outcast, or you can be a backlash of somebody else's lack of love, or you can start speaking up. Nothing's gonna hurt you the way that words do. And not only do we hurt ourselves with words, we can hurt others. Am I building up or am I tearing down? And in this philosophy, we teach that there's only one. And if I'm tearing anyone else down there, I'm tearing myself down because we're all one. So how can I see people in their highest light while I'm also seeing myself in my highest light? Part of that is forgiveness. Let me forgive. Let me let go of the past Let me know that there is greatness going on. Let me know that somewhere over the rainbow, the love, the beauty, all of it's inside of me, which is the thing that Dorothy found out at the end, that she had the magic all the time. It was right in her. All she had to do is click her heels, say there's no place like home. Create it with your own mind. Create it with your own thoughts, because our thoughts are things, as this philosophy teaches. Ernest Holmes, who wrote my favorite book, and I will be doing a class on this book very soon, probably in the new year, this thing called You. And the first time I taught this class, one of the gentlemen in the class, he said, "Oh my gosh, I just want to read you this quote." And he started with a quote, and then he looked at me and he said, and it goes on to say, and he kept reading. And it's like, we're going to sit here and read the whole book tonight because every quote in here is fabulous. But Ernest Holmes says, when Jesus said, "It is done to you as you believe," he not only announced the law of faith, he explained how it works. It's done unto you as you believe. Do you believe you deserve a lot? Let that water flow. Let me have the spigot that just charges out all the goodness. Or am I just getting a little dribble? What do I believe I deserve? And it comes down to that deservability, that worthiness, and having the courage to say, here's what I'd like. I put my dream aside, let me pull it out, let me look at it. Let me take 30 minutes every day to really visualize it, verbalize it, feelingly believe it, and then step right into the picture. So as we step right into the picture, we know that life is good and life is very good. That we celebrate the courage, we celebrate the dream, we celebrate whatever is bubbling up inside of us. And we respond appropriately. If anybody tries to judge us, what you think of me, not my business. March to the beat of your own drum. So let's take all of this energy and let's take these dreams and let's go inside our heart of hearts. Closing our eyes to any distractions for just a moment. Breathing in the fullness of life and continuing every breath to breathe in the fullness of life, knowing that something wonderful is happening in, as, and through me. That Spirit, the universe, God, call it what you will, gave us this wonderful gift of the I am, of the life experience. That energy that aligns the stars, that flows the rainbows, that energy flows right where we are. It is the I am, that we are beautifully, brilliantly. Knowing that as we continue to breathe in the fullness of life, that we have the mind, the heart, the courage, the wisdom to follow our heart, to love ourselves unconditionally, to see life in a whole new vantage point, from a whole new viewpoint, from that higher consciousness. That we just say yes, yes, yes to life, yes to the goodness, yes to that inner calling. As we step into gratitude, I am so grateful for absolutely every experience that has brought each one of us to this moment right here, because this moment right here, right now is perfect, divine. Staying in that gratitude of the I am. I just release my word into the universal action of the law, knowing all is well. And so it is. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks. Hello. Thank you. Thanks.
Good morning, everyone. I have been away from the center for this morning until now. I did a really magnificent memorial for Patty Milo up at Green Hills. I don't know if you know her. It was absolutely a wonderful experience. I'm grateful for the wonderful Reverend Valerie talking to us about courage and about knowing what is possible and staying with that and allowing that to be what you think of yourself, not what somebody else thinks. It's one of the best things you can ever hear. And this is the time in our service when we hear the mission statement, how we at this center are doing what we do. And our mission statement is to honor your presence, to nurture your spirit, and to enrich the life of all we serve. And I love this message. I am so grateful for the kindnesses shown to me by the Redondo Beach Center. I am the rock of my family, and I needed propping up, and you propped me up and helped me so that I could in turn help them. They don't even know how grateful they should be. I am grateful. Thank you so much. And so the ushers are coming forth, and this is our opportunity to give back to this center financially or otherwise for all of the blessings that you receive. And so as the blessing comes up, I ask you to join with me as we say, divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, to bless, and to prosper all those who give and all those who receive. I rejoice in the sharing of my good, and I release my gift with love. And so it is. And so we're going to welcome up the magnificent Michael Paul Smith. Thank you, sir.
Look all around, there's nothing but blue skies. Look straight ahead, there's nothing but blue skies. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. Oh, it's gonna be a bright, such a bright, bright sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright day, such a bright, bright sunshiny day. I think I can make it now, the pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Bye-bye. Here is that rainbow I've been praying for. Oh, it's gonna be a bright, such a bright, bright sunshiny day. Oh, it's gonna be a bright day, such a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Look all around, nothing but blue skies. Look straight ahead, nothing but blue skies. They're the blue. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. I see you. Here is that rainbow I've been praying for. Oh, it's gonna be a bright, such a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Oh, it's gonna be a bright day and right in Redondo Beach. It's gonna be a bright day, such a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Ooh. gonna be a bright, such a bright, 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 bright day. Gonna be a bright day, such a bright, 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 bright day. Sunshiny day. Oh, it's gonna be a bright day, such a bright, oh yeah, man, Irie. It's gonna be a bright, shiny day. Oh yeah, man, Irie, man, Irie. Ooh, yes. Oh yeah, man. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day.
Thank you, Michael Paul. Thank you so much. And thank you, Andy. We missed you last week and glad you're back this week. Thank you so much. And this is the time in our service where I squeeze in a couple of things before we do the blessing. I know that it was in announcements earlier today about the next Sunday and having Remembrance Sunday. It's a tradition that we have had in this church for quite a long time. So I'm just reminding you, if you have a loved one that you would like to include, get that photograph into Grant by Tuesday would be lovely, because he takes time to process these. If you've already done it, then that's terrific. And also, whether you bring a picture or not, if you bring a flower, especially one that maybe you cut from your garden, we will have that opportunity to place the flowers in the basket and bless them as we bless the loved one. It's really a lovely service that we do. It's a quiet time to reflect, and it's something we enjoy doing. So come and participate if you would like to do that and have someone you want to remember. I have a brief message for Dr. Moira. She says, "Can you please give my love to everybody and tell them I hope to see them very soon." And she said, "Have a great service," and I think we have. I think we've had a wonderful service. Let's hear it for Reverend Valerie. I'm so grateful that we have Reverend Valerie to join us to help with moving everything along. So as we offer this prayer today, before we go and have great fun next door, we know that we are remembering many people who are in this world who don't see the goodness every day and who do not feel that they are ready to embrace that good and that flow that Reverend Valerie talked about. So let us know for them that there is always a choice, as we say these words, a choice to embrace that new idea. As we say, "I know divine love enfolds me, divine light leads me, divine life lives in me, divine wisdom inspires me, divine compassion expresses through me, and divine power protects me. All that I am is Spirit's life and expression. It is good and very good. With deep joy and generosity filling me, I go forward now in sacred service, supporting a compassionate world that works for all. I move through my days in grace and ease, in peace and love, in health and wellness, in fullness and plenty, and in loving relationship with all. What I now know for myself, and in deep gratitude, I know for all life. There is only God. There is only God. There is only God." So let's rise for our peace song and sing in joy and happiness.
And let it begin with me. Let that was meant to be. With God has the power, night it all away. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joy and all. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. And yes, there is peace